Dear students, now we are going to discuss about Gunn diode and its applications in detail.
Physicist J.B. Gunn discovered microwave oscillation in the gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, cadmium telluride kind of semiconductor materials. By using that materials, he discovered a diode which is named as Gunn diode. Gunn diode is a two-terminal semiconductor diode with negative resistance property. It is widely used in very high frequency applications. High frequency means that is microwave frequency applications. So this Gunn diode is based on the Gunn effect or transferred electron effect in certain semiconductor materials like gallium arsenide, indium phosphide. So this Gunn diode is also called as transferred electron device or TED. This is the symbol of Gunn diode. Cathode, this one is anode. But in this structure, we can see that all the layers are purely N. If I want to create a junction, I need P-type and N-type. But in Gunn diode, all the layers are N-type. Then how do we name cathode and anode? Anode represents always the positive. Cathode means it is negative. Correct. Since all the layers are negative, we are going to name the terminals based on the terminals of the battery. If the negative terminal of the battery is connected to this region, we can say the terminal is a cathode. That is negative. Positive terminal of the battery is connected to this region, then we can say that is a anode. So here the plus symbol represents heavily doped region. In between we are having N-type gallium arsenide. So this is the active layer. So active layer means from this layer we can get the maximum signal transmission. So before going to see about the construction and operation, we should understand what is meant by Gunn effect or transferred electron effect. So let's see this transferred electron effect in detail. There are some semiconductor materials which can possess transferred electron effect. So like gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, gallium nitride, cadmium telluride. So these are the semiconductor materials which can exhibit transferred electron effect. So in general, like silicon, germanium or any other materials, we are having three bands in the energy band diagram. One is valence band, another one is conduction band. In between we are having energy band gap. Correct. But in case of gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, gallium nitride, we are having another one band that is called subconduction band, which is in the conduction band itself but at the different layer. So here this is normal conduction band. There is one more layer called subconduction band where there are a closely spaced energy values. So these are the energy values. Energy value can be differed between the values. Okay, so here this is the normal conduction band level where in the conduction band the electrons are highly mobility 1. It is highly mobility 1. So then the next level of this conduction band is having a little bit lower mobility. In the upper layer, the electrons available in this valley is having very low mobility range. But here the energy is very high compared with this low level. Energy is high but that mobility is very low. Okay, so you have to remember this concept. It is very important in this transferred electron effect. Energy is very high but mobility is low. Here, mobility is very high, but energy is low. Okay. At low electric field given to this material, so most of the electrons are present in the lower energy value with high mobility. So once the electric field is increased, so at high electric field, the electrons acquire the energy from the electric field and transferred into the high energy field. Okay, so at very high electric field, the electrons from this lower value to the higher energy level. And then still if we are increasing the electric field, this electrons from this L value is transferred to this X value, which is very high in energy level, but that mobility is very less. Mobility is very less means the movement of the electron is very less. If the movement of the electron is less means, it is very low means, the current is also getting decreased, because we know that electron movement causes the current flow, right? So as we discussed, so here it is the VI characteristics of the Gunn diode. X-axis is the voltage, Y-axis is in the current. Okay. So here, whenever we are giving that voltage to this Gunn diode, if voltage increased, current is also getting increased linearly. Okay, so that is what given. At low electric field, most of the electrons are present in the lower energy valley with high mobility. So lower energy valleys means the movement of the electrons are very high. So there is a maximum current produced. Correct. But at very high range of electric field is applied, the most of the electrons will be transferred into the high energy valleys. High energy valleys means the electron mobility is very low. Electron mobility is very low means conductivity is directly proportional to the mobility of an electron. Correct. So here after this high voltage means that is the threshold voltage. Threshold voltage represents where we can get the maximum current or the maximum output. Okay, so here it is the maximum current. After this threshold voltage, still we are increasing the voltage means the current starts decreasing, because after this threshold voltage, maximum electrons are there in the high energy level with low mobility. There is no movement of the electrons. At that time, current starts decreasing itself. Okay, so this region is known as negative resistance region. As we know, the negative resistance means what? Voltage increased means current should also be increased. But here, voltage increased but current gets decreased. So that region is called as negative resistance region. Okay, so this effect is called as transferred electron effect. So transferred electron effect from the lower value to the higher value with low mobility region. In Gunn diode, we are going to use this negative resistant region to produce low power microwave signal. So next, structure of Gunn diode. As we already discussed in that structure, all the layers are N-type. So there are metal contact on both sides to create a ohmic contact with the terminals, battery terminals, right? So here N plus substrate, that is heavily doped N-type substrate, heavily doped N-type substrate at both ends. In between we are having active layer of gallium arsenide. So this is called a diode with reference to the positive end and negative end of the DC voltage. So this construction doesn't have cathode and anode, that is positive and negative on its own. After connecting with the DC bias, we can mention the anode and cathode. Okay, so one more drawback is here in this structure. Since gallium arsenide is a poor conductor, heat is generated in the diode easily. So always we need to have the heat sink to avoid an excessive heat. Okay, so that is one of the major drawback in this gallium arsenide is a poor conductor, so it can easily generate the heat in the frequency range, microwave frequency range. Equivalent circuit of this Gunn diode. So here we are having CP and LP. CP and LP is nothing but package. We can say that as a package, or sometimes this can be used for coupling purpose. Okay. So RS is nothing but series resistance used to represent ohmic contact. So here CJ and RJ. These two are representing the junction capacitance and resistance. The important point here it is the junction resistance value should be minus, because we are going to use the negative resistance characteristics of the gallium arsenide. So negative resistance can be represented as minus Rj. So minus Rj means current decreases with an increase in voltage, just in negative side, opposite side. Okay. Modes of operation of Gunn diode. So the first one is Gunn or transit time mode. Next one is LSA mode. This LSA mode is very important mode. This is how we are going to use this Gunn diode. In this mode only we are going to generate the microwave signal. Okay, so that LSA represent limited space charge accumulation. Limited space charge accumulation mode, quenched domain mode, delayed mode. So there are 4 modes of operation available in Gunn diode. So first one is Gunn mode or TT mode. TT means what? Transit time mode. So before going to analyze this diagram, we should understand what is meant by high field domain or electric dipole domain. So let's see this first. So when the voltage applied across the diode exceeds a threshold voltage. Correct. So whenever the voltage is greater than the threshold voltage, electrons are transferred from low energy to high energy band in the conduction band, right? So here it is the low energy and high mobility. Low energy means it has high mobility, that the current is very high. Correct. So next, high energy but its mobility is very less. Correct. So in that case, low mobility means the current value is lesser one. Okay. So this is the concept here. Whenever the voltage applied exceeds the threshold voltage, electrons are transferred from this low energy to high energy band. So maximum electrons are available in this high energy, but these electrons are not able to move. Correct. So at that time all the electrons are bunched together. Okay, so all the electrons are bunched together and then further move from cathode to anode by giving an excess electric field. So bunching or grouping all the electrons together, it is called as high field domain or dipole domain. So first we should understand what is the meaning of dipole domain or high field domain. Then only we can understand the transit time mode. So in this Gunn mode or transit time mode, whenever the applied voltage exceeds the threshold voltage, the high field domain is formed at the higher energy level. We can say that higher energy level is cathode. So now I want to move this high field domain from this cathode to anode to create a oscillation, current conduction, right? So for that I am going to give excess electric field. So in that situation, this high field domain starts moving from this cathode to anode. Okay, so here the movement of dipole domain results in a pulse of current at the output side. So this side, output side, I am going to connect one RF circuit. So the movement from the cathode to anode of this high field domain produces a current fluctuations which is creating the microwave oscillations at this RF circuit. Okay, so this is how the Gunn mode or transit time mode behaves. Here, what is mean by transit time? So, transit time is nothing but the time taken by this high field domain from this cathode to anode. The transition period is called as transit time. So, the transit time is defined like this. The time taken by the high field domain from the cathode to an anode is the transit time of the device. The movement of the dipole moment results in a pulse of current at the output side. So, these current fluctuations occur at the microwave frequencies. So, microwave signal can be obtained. The major drawback of this transit time mode is it is very low in efficiency. Frequency cannot be controlled by the external circuit. So, these are the drawback of this transit time mode. So next method is LSA mode. LSA means limited space charge accumulation. Okay. So in this mode, the Gunn diode works as a part of resonant circuit. As we know that resonant means LC tank circuit. So here Gunn diode is used as a part of a resonant circuit. Okay. So along with this C and L. So the resonant circuit is tuned to produce a frequency, that is resonant frequency, at which we can get a greater output. Okay, so that is what the LSA mode. In this mode, the Gunn diode can generate the microwave oscillation with its maximum value. So how do we get this microwave oscillation? Here we are going to use negative resistance region. Okay, so in this negative resistance region, what we are going to do? We are going to tune. So here tuning is very important. We are going to tune the voltage is exactly at the midpoint of this negative resistance. This is the threshold voltage, right? So we are going to increase the threshold voltage, the voltage of the device greater than this threshold, and also to ensure it should be at the midpoint with respect to negative resistance region. So the output RF power should be like this. So the peak value of this peak to peak, negative peak to positive peak of this microwave signal is within the range of negative resistance region. So we can get the RF signal like this. So it is a very important mode where we are using that microwave oscillation system. So here Gunn diode is used along with the tank circuit to tune to the particular frequency where we can get maximum signal. Okay. So LSA mode can produce several watts of power with 20% efficiency. In case of transit time, it is around 2% efficiency, but in this LSA mode, we can get 20% efficiency. And one more thing, frequency increases means the power is getting reduced. Okay, at 10 gigahertz, we can produce 1 watt power. At 100 gigahertz, we can produce 1 milliwatt power. Here, that LSA mode circuit operates as a negative resistance oscillator when the DC voltage, that is the applied voltage, is adjusted to a value greater than the threshold and nearly at the midpoint, as we already discussed, right? So we have to ensure that this is the VI characteristics of the Gunn diode. So this is the negative region. We are going to increase the applied voltage above this threshold and make sure that it is placed at the midpoint of this negative region, right? So by making that, we can get the peak to peak amplitude is equal to the voltage range in the negative resistance region. So peak to peak amplitude of the microwave signal generated, that is equal to the total voltage of the negative region. So LSA mode is widely used in Gunn Diode oscillator. So next type is quenched. So quenched domain mode means here the resonant circuit is tuned to a value greater than the transit time mode. So the time duration is greater than transit time means the dipole domain will be quenched before arriving the anode. So it will be extended. Okay, so it will be quenched before just the transit time. This is the exact transit time means I will show you the diagrammatic representation later on. You have to remember this. Here the resonant circuit is tuned just greater than the transit time, that then the dipole moment will be quenched before arriving the anode. So delayed mode means here it is tuned to a value lesser than the transit time. That means it can reach the anode after the required time period. I will show you the diagram. So from this diagram you can easily understand the concept of delayed mode and quenched mode. So this is for the normal Gunn mode, that is transit time mode. So in this one, this is the with respect to time, this is the actual transit time required. This is the actual transit time, that means here it is cathode, here it is anode. So I need to receive the signal at this particular transit time. For this Gunn mode, the transit time dou naught is equal to dou t, the same. So I can receive the signal like this. Okay. In the delayed mode, the transit time, that is this is tuned by the Gunn diode. Okay, this is tuned by the resonant circuit. Okay. So here in this delayed mode, the circuit is tuned to the value which is greater than the transit time. At that time, the signal can reach the anode little bit later than this required transit time. This is called delayed mode. Quenched mode means the circuit tuned to the value which is lesser than the required transit time. That means the high field domain can reach the anode little earlier than the required time period. Okay, do you understand? Little earlier than the required time period. This is called quenched mode. So what about the LSA mode? Yes. So in this LSA mode, we can get several times greater than the Gunn mode. In this Gunn mode, if we are getting or creating a single cycle, advantages of the Gunn diode, they are very compact in size, operate over a large bandwidth, high frequency stability is also available. Disadvantages, it is having high turn on voltage. That means that voltage should be greater than the threshold voltage. So generally at the threshold voltage we will be getting the maximum output in other system. But for this Gunn diode, whenever we are having the voltage greater than the threshold, then only the diode starts working. So turn on voltage is very high, less efficient, poor temperature stability. Applications of Gunn diode. So it is mainly used as a low microwave power oscillator. In parametric amplifiers, it is used as a pump sources, and then it is used as sensors in microwave systems. It is also used in military systems, in microwave communication systems. In radar, it is used as speed guns. So it is also used as a microwave relay data link. So these all are the various applications of this Gunn diode. One of the major application of the Gunn diode is Gunn diode oscillator. So in this Gunn Diode oscillator, the Gunn Diode is mounted inside the waveguide cavity. So the waveguide cavity is formed by a short circuit termination at one end and an iris at another end. So it can create a cavity. So Gunn Diode is placed at the center of the waveguide cavity perpendicular to the breadboard. And also we have to ensure that Gunn Diode is placed where the electric field is maximum. Okay, so here this waveguide cavity is acting as a resonator. So now we are going to tune this cavity to resonant frequency, that is F0, by adjusting the choke filter and this short circuit blanker. So by adjusting this sliding short circuit blanker, we can obtain the resonant frequency. So at resonant frequency, the microwave oscillation starts creating. So here the resonant cavity is tuned to resonate at F0. F0 is nothing but the resonant frequency or intrinsic frequency, that is natural frequency at which the microwave signal generated. So that is obtained by adjusting the short circuit blanker. Here the tuning screw is used to fine tune the frequency range. So next we are going to find out the value of this F0. The intrinsic frequency depends on the electron drift velocity Vd due to high field domain through the effective length. As we already discussed in the transit time mode, so here it is the cathode, this is the anode, means the high field domain is formed. So this is because of the electron drift velocity from low energy to the high energy. So this is called electron drift velocity. Okay, for moving the low energy level to high energy level, the electrons require some velocity, that is drift velocity. Okay, so this intrinsic frequency depends on the drift velocity due to high field domain through effective length, that is this length. Okay, so here we can obtain that F0 is equal to Vd by L. Okay, here it is drift velocity. For gallium arsenide, this drift velocity ranges 10 power 7 centimeter per second. Okay, so then important parameters of this Gunn Diode oscillators are the output power is in the range of few watts. For continuous wave operation, it is only few watts. Its biasing range is 10 watt and 1 amps. Frequency is in the range of 30 to 40 gigahertz. For pulsed operation, the peak power values are in the range of 100 to 200 watts. So there may be some problem using this drift velocity. The problem may be like this. The drift velocity of electrons is 2 into 10 to the power of 7 centimeter per second through the active region of length 10 into 10 power minus 4 centimeter. Calculate the natural frequency of the diode. So F0 is equal to Vd by L, that is velocity divided by effective length, that is equal to given value 2 into 10 to the power of 7 centimeter per second divided by 10 into 10 to the power of minus 4 centimeter. So centimeter cancel and we will get the answer as 20 gigahertz. So the signal is generated at 20 gigahertz for this drift velocity.